P1, exercise. Number 2, suppose gas costs $3.50 per gallon. We make a model for the cost C of buying X gallons of gas by writing what formula? It will start off C equals. So, number 2, let's start off with C equals, and we want to make a formula that will give us what the cost will be. So essentially, C is going to be money, cost. Okay, to get cost, you have to know the rate. They said this is $3.50. They said that's for a gallon of gas. Well, a gallon is the same thing as per gallon. And when you say a gallon or per gallon, that is written as $3.50 is money. The a gallon goes in the denominator here. We put gallon. So this means $3.50 money per gallon here. And say X is going to be gallons. So if you multiply this times X, and X stands for gallons, if you multiply a dollars per gallon times a gallon, the gallon cancels out the denominator here, and the results are money. So I will write the formula this way. C equals $3.50 times X. Now, when you put numericals next to variables, it's assumed that they're multiplied, so you don't need the time. So you can also get this right simply by writing 350 and then X. That'll be correct. Also, this 0 here stands for hundreds. There's no hundreds in here, so you can simply write the ones and the tenths, and you'll still be correct. So 3.5 times X is also correct. So all three of these are usable. So let's go to number 4. Number 4, we have that. Okay, we have an equation T equals 0.005x, and they want us to find the wage paid by a resident who earns $26,000 per year. Okay, so the $26,000 per year, that's a rate, and we want to know how much taxes will be. Well, T says it equals 0.005 times X, and X will be the per year or the rate. So we have to multiply those two. So it'll look like this. T equals 0.005x. And we're told that the X is equal to, I'm going to put it in big parentheses here, $62,000. And that's money per year. And we'll end up getting money for T. So we need to multiply these two. So if I move this decimal back 1, 2, 3 times, that becomes a 5. That'll reduce my zeros by 1, 2, 3, and that'll become a 62. So it's actually 5 times 62 in order to get this answer. You can put all this in a calculator and get the same thing. Alright, so half of 6 is 3, half of 2 is 1, and I'll add a 0. And we get $310. Number 6. The volume V of a cylinder. We just lost it. So I can raise this a little higher for you. The volume V of a cylinder can is modeled by the formula V equals pi times R squared times H, where R is the radius, H is the height of the can. Find the volume of the can with radius 3 and the height of 5. Okay, so let's write that formula down here, and that'll be number 6. So V equals pi times R to the second power times H, and we're told that let's use for pi 3.14. For R, they say that the radius was 3. That'll be to the second power. And then the height, we were told that the height was 5. So let's see here, 5. Okay. Now, we'll start here with the powers first, exponentials first, and that'll be 3 times 3, which is 9. So this will give us 3.14 times a 9 and then times a 5. Then I'll multiply my 9 and my 5. That will give me 45. And now I need to multiply by 3.14 times 5. I'm going to pull out my calculator here and see what I get. 3.14 multiplied by 45. And I get an answer for B that equals 141.3. And that'll be the volume. Since everything was measured originally in inches, I can say that the volume is inches cubed. And the reason why I'm saying cubed is because volume measures how much space. Space is measured by these little cubes that measure how much space there is inside anything. And so we know that this right here, inches cubed, that's an inch cube right there. That's what it looks like. And there's 141 of these in that can. Okay. Let's take a look at number 14. 14 says we're going to write an algebraic formula that models the given quantity. 14 says the average A of two numbers is A and B, the average number. To get an average, you have to add all your values together, values together, and then divide by the number of values that you added. So, since we're adding A and B, that's only 2. So, let's do that. So, number 14, the average of A, so say A equals, to make an average out of A and B, you have to add them. After you add those two numbers, you have to divide them by 2. This process will give you an average. So the formula will be A equals A little a plus a little b, and then divided by 2. That'll be your formula. Number 16. The amount T of a 15% tip in a restaurant of X dollars. Okay. How do you find the amount of a tip? So the tip is 15% of the original. So it will look like this. The amount T, 16, is going to equal 15%. I'll write temporarily 15%. We're going to change that. And it'll be multiplied times the amount that the bill is. And that's what X stands for. Now 15% is going to be rewritten as the decimal over twice, because the original decimal is here with the percent. Without the percent, the decimal moves over twice to the left and goes here instead. And that'll be multiplied by X. So this won't be acceptable, but this will. And again, you have a numerical value with a variable. You don't need the multiplication, so you can also write it as 0.15x, and this is also acceptable. Okay. Number 22. The volume of a fruit case. Crate. A fruit crate has square's ends and is twice as long as its side. Find the volume of the crate if its width is 20 inches. Okay, so what we have here is a crate, and we know that one side is unknown. That's what the X stands for. And the second side is twice as long, so we write that as 2 times X to represent that second side. Now, to find volume, you have to multiply length times width times height. And let's begin. And we're also told that the width is 20. So we have 2 of the sides labeled as X and 2X, and the third side labeled as 20. So those are our 3 sides. Find the formula. So we want to find the volume of the crate if the width is 20 inches. Oh, sorry, there's a square end. Okay, so square end, that means that on the side, both the same, but I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the square end. This is the other square end. And let's make a create out of this. So if this side was x, because we didn't know it, the longest side is also is 2x. It's longer. It's really too long. But they never gave us the third side. Well, since it's a square, you know that the third side down here is also going to be x. So whenever you're looking for volume, you're going to multiply length times width times height. And what's serving as a length here, let's say this is the length right here, that's 2x's. So 2x's times the width, we'll say down here, that's the x. And then times the height, which is this guy right here, that'll be x. So this will be 2 times x. Well, when you're multiplying variables, the same variable, you show multiplication by raising powers. So that'll be represented by 2 times x to the third power.